Questions have been raised about the future of the investigation into the Steinhoff saga. Author and multi-award-winning journalist Rob Rose says that the Hawks will now have to reconsider who to hold accountable. This comes after former Steinhoff CEO Marcus Jooste died by suicide. It's understood the disgraced businessman shot himself in the head yesterday. Earlier this week, Jooste was fined 475 million rand by the Financial Sector Conduct Authority for misrepresenting Steinhoff's financial statements published between the year 2014 and 2017. The FSCA says Jooste earned millions of rands in performance bonuses based on deceptive statements. For more on this, we cross to our SABC News reporter, Vanessa Poonah. Good afternoon, Vanessa. From what we understand from news reports, Marcus Jooste shot himself on the rocks beneath the coastal path outside the Water in Hermanus. What are the developments on your side?
Yes, good afternoon to you. And indeed, this just behind me is the spot where we understand Marcus Jooste shot himself late yesterday afternoon. I can tell you at this stage that there are still some remnants of sand that was thrown over to cover the area. At the moment, quite a number of media teams and camera crews are at the scene at the moment. And then also earlier on this morning, we saw quite a number of people taking a walk along this, shall we call it a promenade, because of course Water Beach, this part of Hermanus, is of course an exclusive neighborhood. It is also a sought after holiday destination, and some of the people we spoke to on this promenade here were telling us that they actually arrived here yesterday or the day before for holidays. Of course, you would know it's also school holidays at the moment ahead of the Easter weekend. So, of course, people, locals speaking to us, but very reluctant to speak on camera. Some of them saying that although what had happened, what Marcus Jooste is accused of, was indeed something terrible and tragic, because, of course, there would have been great losses incurred by other investors, pension funds, etc. But also some people telling us that the loss of his life to his family, to his children, to his wife would also be a great tragedy. So at this point in time, people around this area at least are not wanting to speak to us on camera. Safe to say that many have been aware of the Steinhoff saga, as for the past 7-8 years or so, it's been dominating news in the business sector. And a lot of people have their views, but very few are prepared to air them on camera.
With those who are not prepared to air them on camera, what are they saying to you off the record about Marcus Jooste's life in Hermanus, whether he was fitting in with society or was he the pariah that we've read that he was?
Quite a bit of tales coming from people. Some telling us that the locals here are saying that Marcus Jooste is alleged to have been driving around Hermanus in his Rolls Royce. And of course, some people saying that this didn't exactly make people very fond of him, of course. Some people also saying that he was quite arrogant. This, of course, hearsay just from people who were walking along the promenade this morning. So very difficult, because those around and locals, people who are living here, are not wanting to speak to us. I spoke to a gentleman who's living in England for the past 41 years. He's down on holiday in South Africa, and he was telling us this is also the sense that he got from people around town, people around this part of Hermanus. So very difficult to gauge, but it doesn't appear as though Marcus Jooste would have been someone that people chatted with. That's not the sense that I get speaking to those on the ground here today.
Well, thank you so much for that update. That is our SABC News reporter, Vanessa Poonah. And in relation to that Steinhoff thing, news reports coming in that Stefan Grobler, who was a business colleague and who headed up Steinhoff's legal department, has appeared in court in Pretoria on charges of fraud and racketeering. He was head of the legal department for over 2 decades, and he's probably the first person linked to the Steinhoff saga to appear in court in South Africa.